Dan Truttman. Farm is Truttman Dairy LLC. I'm the fifth generation in my family to operate the dairy since 1899, our 125th year. I live in the house that my ancestors built when they arrived.
De mjölkar cirka 520 kor på gården och sedan 2012 är det uteslutande Jersey-kor. Innan valet föll på en renrasig Jersey-besättning hade de Holstein. Dan Truttman har dock på senare år åter börjat blanda raserna allt mer. Det är helt enkelt inte tillräckligt stort intresse för renrasiga Jerseys.
Still doing some, well, I wouldn't even say experimenting with crossbreeding. We're actually kind of pivoting back to making more Jersey Holstein crosses. So we're segregating the herd into our elite Jersey brood cows. So for those cows, it's a combination of everything. You know, do they have the genetics that I'm looking for, the type, the udders especially. But just a good udder for capacity and one that stays up high enough if they can have good longevity. But we're kind of missing our crossbred animals a little bit. There were some benefits to that. Now that we're getting all purebred, our cull rate's a little higher than I would like it to be. Disease resistance isn't what it used to be when we were crossbreeding. And I had intended to build up a high-value purebred herd of Jerseys. And there's not much of a market for that right now. There isn't. I thought, oh, by the time I retire, I'll have this really good high-value herd. And last year I was trying to sell some animals and just wasn't that much of a market for it. There's more demand from Holstein herds just because there are a lot more Holstein herds.
Så strategin på gården är alltså på väg att läggas om, och det är helt enkelt för att ge marknaden vad den vill ha. Men mjölken från Jersey-korna har dock en fördel.
But we do sell to a cheese factory that pays us a protein premium. So having high components, high percents is very important. So we're only taking a slight pivot away from where we were, but still wanting to maintain the high fat and protein. We're shipping our milk to a lactalis factory, and they're making feta, brie, and camembert there. So they pay a protein premium over and above the cheese price that's paid to everybody else. Well, when I say everybody else, it still varies a lot. There's the announced price, and then depending on who the farm is selling to, it can either be above or below that. We've never been below that, and we typically get some very good premiums above it. But in addition to the price they're paying on the announced price for protein, they pay a protein premium for every percent that we're above a 3.5. And we typically run between a 3.6 and a 4.0 protein, so it puts quite a bit extra.
2016 valde han att satsa på ett nytt kalvstall, och det var kort sagt en investering som var nödvändig för verksamheten.
This was built in 2016. It's kind of a watershed year for us. It wasn't that I had extra money to spend, it was that we had things that needed to be done. So the calves were going off to a different custom raiser as babies and staying there until they were about 3 to 4 months old, and then going to the one that's raising the heifers. And it wasn't going well at all. A lot of respiratory issues there and some death loss. But even amongst the ones that survived, there was a lot of compromised health. So we needed to take control of that. So we built this facility. It's about 64 feet wide by 150 long. It has 6 pens of equal size, each sized for up to 25 calves. I think we were targeting about 40 square feet per calf. We were trying to take advantage of the solar aspect of this. So with our orientation here, the long edge to the south, we can get a fair bit of extra warmth for the calves in the winter time. So that's been really nice. And then with the design in the summertime with the sun straight up above, there's a space that's warm that they stay out of. They're smart enough to just move toward the center. And then we have some ventilation fans for cooling.
Ja, fläktar är en central del på många amerikanska mjölkgårdar. I kalvstallet har man satsat på ett tubfläktsystem som ger möjlighet att snabbt cirkulera luften inne i stallet.
And this is a little bit of a unique kind of tube. Do you see the white center there in the hole? This is called a flap duct fan. So that's the winter setting with smaller holes, and the fans run at a little bit slower speed. In the summer, then I flip a lever and that flap moves to the top and it opens up bigger holes, and then the fans run at a higher speed when the temps are up, so we're moving more volume of air. So it also has some holes on the top there too, so in the winter time the air comes out and settles down. So that's a little bit of a unique aspect. The only thing it didn't do for us was to provide cooling, so we added some basket fans just to give some velocity on the calves. Initially we didn't think it was necessary, but it's been very helpful. And it's nice to come in on a hot day and see them kind of bunched in right under it and think, okay, they're liking it, yes.